Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some Settler CTF gameplay. The score in the background is a 55-0. This is without a doubt my best scoreline I've gotten on the game. Pretty darn happy with this gameplay, and I'm especially happy because it isn't one of those long, drawn-out, stale affairs. Everyone stays on the enemy team in the game. I think one person goes AFK for a short amount of time. There's no lag whatsoever. There's one person on the enemy team who lags for like a minute towards the end, but that's about it. So for me, it's not only one of my favourite scorelines, it's one of my favourite gameplays. And who would have thought that it would be on Settler? Because Settler is one of my least favourite maps. If it had a Mantis on it, I would absolutely despise it, but luckily it doesn't, so that makes it slightly more favourable in my estimations. Until recently, I absolutely despise this map, but I did happen to watch a video by a fellow YouTuber of the name Genesis Rider 117, who I've mentioned in previous videos, and he actually did a tips and tricks video on this map that I'm going to leave in the description, because it definitely opened my eyes to a lot more of the concepts that can be invoked in this map, and definitely I felt a little bit clueless at times, especially where I was pulling the flag, certain areas of the map that I might not have necessarily exploited. And Genesis Rider is just one of these tips and tricks commentators that can just, reveal something to you that you wouldn't have even thought of. You know, for me, tips and tricks videos can get a little bit on the generic side, and for a lot of the, more advanced players, even above average players, tips and tricks videos can be just a little bit too basic, and it's very rare that you see someone who, opened your eyes every video to new and interesting concepts. So respect to Genesis Rider 117, I'll leave that video in the description. Unfortunately, I don't actually invoke a lot of those strategies in this gameplay because, to be quite honest, I don't need to. We're in a very dominant platform. There's not really much we need to do except keep hold of top control and always be above them and always have our team handy, which we do manage to do. I've got a lot of players in this lobby who I play with on a regular basis, so we've got a really nice team going on with Ubernick, Nova Fourth Prince, Christo Gons, and Christo Gons' brother, which, to be honest, I can't think of 4 people I'd rather more play with. Those are very cool people, and I'll leave a link to Ubernick's channel in the description. This description will probably get absolutely overloaded with links to people's channels, but I did mean to shout out Ubernick for quite some time because he's decided to be active within the Halo community again. He started a new channel. I did do a dual live commentary with him quite a while ago, but he decided he wasn't in the mood for Halo then, but now he is in the mood, so that's awesome. And, he's a really good commentator, very friendly guy, and I advise you guys subscribe to him because he will be doing a lot of Halo content over the coming weeks. What's funniest about Ubernick is we all used to think that he was quite a bad player, but we've been playing him in Octagon recently, and he can give you a real run for your money, and it's very rare that me and Solomon bring people into Octagon and they give us a run for our money, but Ubernick's got a pretty insane shot. So that's pretty cool. But basically, I'm sure you guys have been wondering why I haven't been active for the last couple of days. It's very rare that I'm not active for even more than a day. I'd say that's a little bit on the strange side. Basically, it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying Halo, even though I will have to admit, it's getting quite hard to be passionate about Halo 4. When I look at the upcoming bulletins right now, the bulletins consist of Dominion coming back, for 2 weeks, and they've barely done anything to mix it up when I really thought they should have. All they're going to do is add Legendary Dominion in, which, is alright, but that's not going to keep me going for 2 weeks by any stretch of imagination, so it is getting a little bit hard on topics. Then there's Rocket Race, and then there's Race, which are 2 playlists which I'm not interested at all. I mean, I'll definitely give them a chance and try and come up with some sort of an upload, but it just feels like they'd be more on the goofy side of things, whereas I don't know, I'd like to say I take the game to some degree seriously, even though I pub stomp, but I do have a lot of respect for the game and the gameplay mechanics itself, so it's kind of hard to bring that to life in a race format, because that's just more goofy live commentary type commentary, but I don't know, we'll have to see. I'll definitely give it a try and see what happens, but at the moment, it definitely is harder than it ever has been to come up with relevant discussion on the subject of Halo. I mean, I'm really hoping that one of these free-to-play Halo rumors actually does come into fruition. There seems to be a lot of substance behind them. Whether we'll get that soon or whether we'll get that in a long distance in the future, I know there's been a lot of whisperings about Halo Wars 2, which, to be quite honest, wouldn't get me particularly excited because I haven't been at all invested in the Halo Wars franchise. It's not like I have anything against RTSs, but RTSs on console, that's kind of a different story. I was a very big fan of the Command & Conquer series, and Age of Empires, and a game called Black and White, which wasn't really RTS, but it's a similar vein to that, I suppose. But I feel like those games should be played on PC, and I'm not even a PC fan, but I just think the RTS layout definitely lends itself much more readily to the PC platform, but maybe that's just my opinion. I never really played Halo Wars, so maybe if I heard about Halo Wars 2, I think I'd probably buy Halo Wars off Amazon and give it a try and see if I could find any interest in it. But even then, I feel like it's the sort of game that you would do a Let's Play on, and you wouldn't necessarily be able to do sustainable content on. Especially me, you know, I am terrible at RTS games. I play them on a very casual basis, and I know that for a fact that I would never get good at it. I tried to play StarCraft 2 for quite some time, and BBK Dragoon was giving me all these godly tips. He was saying, hey, here's a tutorial, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally ready for this. Played about 5 games and then was ready to kill myself. I don't think I have the brain for it. I can't multitask. I can't multitask for some reason. My brain just isn't wired that way. I get very focused on individual aspects of the game. When it comes to multitask, your brain has to be in like several different places at once, and I find that really hard, to be honest. So I'm really not sure Halo Wars 2 is something that I could adopt as part of my channel. But like I said, I'll give it a go. I'm a very open-minded person. I'm willing to give any game a shot at the very least. So we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, making videos up until Halo 5 will be difficult. I can't lie to you guys, like, unless there's something that 343 have up their sleeves regarding the game. But, you know, rotational playlist was kind of a final nail in the coffin for me, because 6 weeks of rotational coffins. Sheesh. Rotational playlists up, you know, with playlists that I don't really care about, with playlists that aren't seeing that many additions. I'm not sure even Race will be as good as previous Halo games, to be quite honest. I don't see, like, with the custom game settings as they are, I don't see how Race can be that spectacular. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I've been Modest Major, guys. I'm still going to be, like, being active in Halo. Don't get me wrong. I just might have to scale back content, because I don't want to be putting out filler videos very regularly, because it's been really tough the last couple of weeks to not make videos that didn't seem like filler videos, because I do just literally have to pull topics out of the back end of my brain, and it's very, very hard to do that on a regular basis and still come up with topics that are relevant or noteworthy. I try my best, but, you know, I'm not a machine, I'm not a robot, and to be honest, I've been playing Super Smash Bros. Recently, and I am so into that game. And let me just say one thing about Super Smash Bros. This game was made, like, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, maybe I'm wrong, but it was made quite a while ago, and, the funny thing is about this game was not intended to be a competitive game. This game was a party game where you had fun, you played around, and yet they had the settings on that game so that you could turn off every single casual element of the game that you wanted to and play in the most competitive setting, but at the same time you could switch between the two. And also, it had 8 characters that were balanced within the game, without even trying to make it as balanced as they physically could. They were just making a party game, but 8 characters place themselves in the 2 top tiers. So you can play as these and win tournaments. You can even win tournaments as the 3rd tier characters, which I find so fascinating when a game like Halo 4, not to rag on the game, but this is kind of on AAA multiplayer shooters in general. The fact of the matter is, these games that have been releasing, you know, when they release at launch, they have to be updated continuously post-release. Several times sometimes, and you know, if Halo 4 hadn't been patched in the first place, it wouldn't have been anywhere near competitive. And even now that it has been patched, it still doesn't have the robust custom game settings and ranked settings that Super Smash can pull off within their own game. And I know it's kind of hard to compare because they're different genres completely, but still, they pretty much have the basis of social and ranked in their own game without even trying to make it like that. I don't know, I just found it interesting. But anyway, I'm going to let music play for the rest of the video. I hope I wasn't rambling too much, and I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, because this most certainly was my best. I'm a Modest Major, thank you for watching, peace out.